Good evening. We start today's broadcast with a message from Inter Milan. Their chairman, Eric, has asked me to have an interview to discuss the possibility of becoming their new manager. Now, Inter Milan have got a lot of things that I would enjoy. The main one being a hot prospect, Manuel Renzi. Spices to my herbs and my spices. Out for 1 to 2 days with a Bruce currently, but that doesn't matter. Not only that, lots of connections to Inter. If you've been watching previous saves over the series that I've done on this channel, you'll know that, for example, Andrea Bellotti, Stefano Sciarri, better known as Norman, Jeffrey Kondogbia, and Jason Murillo have also joined me at teams in the past, a few of which at Parma, one at the Leicester save of course, and of course now with Renzi. There's lots of nice things about Inter. Inter currently though 12th in Serie A, not really challenging. You can see there, we've played a couple of games since we last met. We're currently 4th in the league table. What do we do? What do we do? It's quite simple what we do. This is the Ispalian job, not the Italian job. So we'd say no. I will now hand you over to future Ben, because current Ben is going to play through a few more games into, though, the January window. Enjoy.
3, 2, 1, go.
A cool, better version of me is here with you now. And since we last met, lots has happened, as you've seen. Nearly took a job at Inter Milan. I've also been offered the West Ham job. Haven't taken either. So since our last game, which you saw against Fenerbahce, we lost 1-0 to Roma, got knocked out of the Tim Cup. At that point, Inter went, that's the man for us. We then followed that up with defeat to Inter Milan. Bellotti scored after 5 minutes, proving that I made the wrong choice, which is a bit annoying. It was then a 1-1 draw against Napoli. Dorian Heiser with an 87th minute equaliser. Napoli ended up going down to 9 men, which is a bit funny to see, I'll admit. And then we followed that up with a 4-0 victory over Sampdoria. Yosu got us underway in the very first minute, and then it was 2 quick succession goals by Loco and Spiria, but then Dorian Heiser, after 48 minutes, made it 4-0. And there we are then. And that leaves us in an interesting position, folks. We are 5th in Serie A. We are halfway through a transfer window. And so far in the window, loads of things have happened. Not a thing has happened. I've not done anything. Basically, we're in the same situation really that we were in the summer. 5.6 million to spend. That doesn't really improve any of the players in my squad. So I guess we just stick with this squad. Hope we get some more money in the summer. And that's just the way it is. Oh, musical. Now, it's a couple of days' time until our match against Juventus, and obviously that's going to be a tricky one. We're also going to play Pescara calcio today, as well as any transfer bits and bobs that occur in this. Spirit of getting into the player of the week, because I think you got a goal in our last game. So we're in a bit of a situation. We'll scout all these players. We'll see if any of them come back. I do like the player recruitment feature. It's quite a nice one. It sort of collates sort of scout reports and puts them all in one place for you, which I do quite like. But yeah, if any transfer news happens or anything like that, I will let you know. But so far, little to no action. Can't get Sousa, Renzi back, so I'm not really... Just kind of, yeah, we'll see how we go this year. Europe would be nice, but I still think sort of 7th or 8th is more likely. We're performing slightly above expectations. Juve, if we beat Juve, we're winning the league. So ignore me. I must say, a lot of these players that are, I mean, they're kind of suggested. Mark Jonk. I just quite like the idea of Mark Jonk. So yeah, as soon as we can, buy some really good or promising young regens, we will do. But until then, we're in a bit of a tricky situation. Anyway, folks, game against Juventus today then, and the team looks like this. Barloco is suspended, Agostini can't play either, and Spira can't play because he's on loan from Juventus. So Podolek starts in goal, Alexander-Arnold plays at right back, Diaz and Casasola. Cini comes in at left back, and he does a fine job there, so I'm not too worried about it. Toscano just in front, Luca and Louise in the centre for this game, with Yosu in behind Heiser, and Gutlu. Gutlu is very good in Europe. We talked about this before, very good in Europe, but league-wise, 3 goals from 9 games, not dreadful, but doesn't have superb performances. That's why I've been playing Spirit, and he got a goal in the last one. We brought in Brian Brunet. He's not really ever done it for us. Do we give him the chance today? I mean, do we give him the chance? Let's give him the chance. Good Clue's not prolific in the league, so come on, we're going to change it round. And hopefully all of our dreams will come true. They're playing Higuain up front with Eriksson, Rakitic, Carvalho and Pjanic. The player I didn't mention there was Sagia, a player that we looked to get in, and once Renzi left, I wanted to go and get someone else. Sadly though, he was at Genk, and 24 million got that done for Juve. He looks really good. At one point, I think I probably could have signed him on the cheap, and didn't, and now regret it. it's we all make mistakes. You can see why I might want him now, though. Bit annoying. I think it was at a time where we didn't have that much money, so it was kind of a, do we spend this high budget on this one striker and not be able to bring in a couple of midfielders? And I decided at the time to bring in someone like Luca in the centre. I said, well, this starts in 3D. Look at the state of the... Oh, get rid of the wall. The best thing about 2D Classic is you can't see the wall. Okay, Spal versus Juventus. We're on 34 points, game in hand on some of the teams above us. If we can avoid defeat here, that'd be a really good result. We're starting attacking, we're starting fluid, the Spal way, essentially. A risky thing to do against Juventus side that have obviously been pretty dominant in Serie A for some time. But at the top, it's quite tight. Roma, Milan, Napoli, all leading the chase against Juventus. They're certainly not as dominant as they have been in previous years, which makes it a little bit more competitive. If I just drag this out, you can see they've lost 4 games this season. So they are beatable. Whether we're the team to beat them, I mean, we saw the opening day. It wasn't good. We lost 4-0. Just noticed there, by the way, it's Sassuolo, or Sassuolo, down in the relegation zone. Toscano puts the ball in, out to Yosu on the edge. We might have a chance here. Dorian brings it to Brune. Oh, it's such a good chance. He's hit the bar, for goodness sake. And now we have to sit here and watch Juventus attack after going ever so close. Higuain, he's hit the bar. What a miss from Ericsson. Oh, my God. I mean, that is a massive miss. Brune's been booked for his hitting the crossbar, I think, and now he's offside as well. Half-time. I mean, I know it's very dull, but 0-0, I'll take that going into the next game. If we could just draw this, then I'm fine with it. I said they're a bit unlucky in that first half. I still think we can find a win in this. As Luis is going to get called over. He's picked up a booking immediately. Well done, mate. Now, we've got options off the bench. We can bring good clue on. We've got a couple of central midfielders we can bring on. I'm thinking around the hour mark, we might do that as Cini throws it into Luis. I mean, that is one of the worst touches you're ever likely to see. Sakio now, but back to Semedo, and they're bringing it forward. They've got an orange ball today. Not a fan of the orange ball. Visibility-wise, it's a bit of an issue for people that are colour-blind, probably. Higuain has been taken out by Alexander-Arnold, and it's surely only a booking, ref. I don't know why you would call him over. This is very dramatic, which makes me more fearful for the free kick, if anything, as Alexander-Arnold gets just back into the middle. Pjanic with a free kick, whips it into the middle. Casasola gets it rid, and now Luca brings it away. Well, maybe this Alexander-Arnold yellow card will result in a chance for us. Didn't look likely then, did it? And it still doesn't really... It's not clean, I'll put it that way. As they're coming forward, Yosu, out to Dorian now. If he can start to move, Dorian can't start to move. Ball's played down the line. This is a very long highlight, and yet to happen. Anything's yet to happen. Heiser knocks it down. Pjanic. There's going to be a goal at the end of this, or a very good chance. And every time they have the ball, I am petrified. Higuain plays it forward. No, back to Pjanic. They're still bringing it forward. I'm nervous. Christian Eriksen. Cini! Oh, that is unlucky. I know what's happened. I've seen it in the engine before. It's a slide tackle's coming from Cini, I suspect, on Eriksen. And it's trickled across to Higuain, who's just prodded home. Hence, there's no offside. The ball's played through. Slide tackle incoming. Yeah, it's an outrageous slide tackle. You'd never see the ball go in that direction normally, I don't feel. But anyway, Higuain knocks it in. And that is a disappointing way to go behind. Now, the issue could be that the floodgates well and truly open. Now they've got a first. And, well, maybe not. Brune on it now. Forward towards Dorian. We've got runners as well. Back to Cini on that left-hand side. Sorry, let's move this mouse out of the way. Toscano brings it forward into Yosu. Nice football from us, as long as we don't lose it here. Otherwise, we're going to be in all sorts of problems. As Cini, I don't know where he's going. Semedo nicks it off him. It's not good football, is it? If they score this, Cini, there's going to be issues. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Agostini would have been a better option at this stage. Right, double change incoming. Ballett's going to come into the middle. We'll play him as the advanced playmaker. I can trust him. I can rely on him. And up front, I think we're going to bring on Jovetic, who's not seen too much football this season. But, you know, a bit of experience for half an hour might do the trick. And now Luca, as I say all of this, has picked up an injury. So we'll bring on Batista in the centre and just move Ballack across. Oh, for so long, it felt like we were in this game. And then all of a sudden, it's been ripped away from us. If that Brune goal goes in early doors, I fancy our chances, but it's not to be. Still attacking though. I mean, we're still kind of going for it. It just doesn't seem like anything's going to come from it. 15 minutes to go. Juve take up a nicely at the top. Udinese have leapfrogged us as well. I guess the advantage is if we win our game in hand, we do close the gap to only 2 points on Roma, who are ahead of us, which isn't too bad, I guess. But you don't like to lose ground at any stage. And with 10 minutes to go, I mean, it's going to have to be now. Yosu, ball in. Balek's at the back post. If he can keep it in, he can. Back to Jovetic. Jovetic with a strike on goal. And in the back of the net it goes. His first goal for Spal. I mean, could this happen? Could it? The corner's played in then. It's kept in by Balek. Does really, really well. Pulls it back to Jovetic. I think keeper in, right? Yeah, he saves it. Sort of. Really. In the back of the net. Is there a late chance for us here? There's a free kick to Juve. I mean, that's not really a chance for us, is it? I mean, how has he That's unbelievable. There's a minute left to go. It's been one of those highlightless highlights. I mean, that's disappointing to get a goal back and then not to win. But a 2-1 defeat, I mean, it's better than the opening day. Slight improvement. I mean, we're playing at home, so maybe that's a factor as well. Juve, though, they're not going to give us stuff, are they? They're taking their win and they're leaving with it. Pescara calcio coming up on the other side of this. Lucas picked up an injury as well. Oh, heaven's sake. 13 days out with a twisted knee, potentially. Jovetic gets his goal. But yeah, I'll see you for the next one then. We've got a few injury concerns. Luckily, Barloco will be back for us, and Spear will probably play as well. So as we go to this next game, I'll rest the boys and see you in just a moment. I say I'll see you in just a moment. This is a transfer window. Anything could happen. There's loads of interest apparently in Dorian. You might be thinking, is he going out? He is wanted at the moment by Dortmund. There is a price that gets it done. I mean, the 200 million mark, he's improving all the time. He's still at 4-star, which suggests to me he's still got plenty of way to go to be like a superstar player. I don't know, the fans like him as well. That's a positive, apparently. Well, that's good. It also means we can't sell him for less than 200 million. I'm sticking with it. Now, interestingly, Watford have made a bid for this goalkeeper that is 21, Turkish. He's very young. He might be a bit of a one for the future. Obviously, I'm looking to replace Pozovec, but only with the right man, and I don't think necessarily overall he's much better than Pozovec, so we'll leave that. Just realised that Agostini's not even on a professional contract. I could offer him one, but I refuse to. And speaking of interviews, I mean, we started the episode with one. As I say, West Ham have been in for me as well. And now I've had Mönchengladbach. They want me. They've clearly heard about my exploits in Germany. And they're thinking, oh, well, let's get him involved. They've got Dendoncker, who is a player that I quite like. So we'll decline. Obviously, we're going to decline. You can't create a series called the Ispalian job and halfway through go, oh, by the way, we're going off to Mönchengladbach. Phil Neville's been praising Dorian. Good. Thanks to Phil. And now, interestingly, I've been training Batista to play so he can dictate the tempo of the game. At this stage now, I am more than happy to play him in the centre of the midfield. It's what Sousa had last year, and I do think Batista is very much like a Sousa 2.0. So I'm looking forward to never seeing him again after this season. Oh, I think my big concern in this January window is that if a team comes in for Dorian, right, he's definitely going to want to leave. And that's going to cause so much disruption that I just know Dortmund are going to do it, or someone's going to come on, probably Inter now, and I've said all this. And it's just going to irritate the life out of me. Thinking I might play Toussaint in the centre. He's just got a bit more about him. I do want to get him involved a little bit more this season. I think he's a very good player that we're not really using enough. I quite like Toscano in that deep line playmaker role. For whatever reason, he just plays well there. Just incredibly well-rounded. One of those players that plays above what you'd expect. Pozovec in goal then. The back line doesn't change apart from Barloco coming in. As I say, Toussaint comes in the centre with Batista. So the difference there in central midfield is quite drastic. And then Spear comes up top instead of Brunet. Let's see how we get on then. Pescara calcio, we broke the curse. Now, can we flip the curse on them so now we're the team that always win? They've got Donis up front, probably be familiar to quite a few of you, who will be a threat in this game, you would imagine. They've also got Grenier, interestingly, former Leon, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that, what knowledge. Okay, we're in our, I always call it the famous green kit. It's in no way famous. No one's going, oh, Spal look lovely in that green they're always wearing. I mean, the important thing is to not have a double loss episode. Our form recently, as you saw when we went through the games, has been patchy at best. And Pescara calcio are not the team necessarily I want to be playing in this sort of game. What's our goal difference at this stage? Still 5, still brilliant. Let's take a 1-0 lead then, and if we see from the highlight, the ball's played in by Costa. I mean, Pescara calcio are basically wearing our kit. No wonder we lose to them all the time. We think we are them. Keep passing the ball, going, oh, my mistake. I didn't realise we were wearing camouflage today. Sorry, everyone. The battle really is to finish above Inter Milan now. After rejecting the opportunity to manage them, obviously quite a big club in Italy, there's lots of reasons to go. We're not going, but now we've got to make sure we finish above them, which ordinarily wouldn't be easy and won't be easy today. I mean, the highlights are flowing here, by the way. No highlights whatsoever. Let's get aggressive with me. Show me something else in the second half. They seem furious. Let's try and use that, shall we? Let's play a little bit more mixed, not play so short, and look to get in behind a little bit. Like a few balls over the top. In fact, let's get our boys running out wide. Let's get both of these guys moving into channels if possible. Heiss is already doing it. He's an advanced forward attack, of course, but Spitter doing it as well now. So both sides, he's left and right footed. Can we find a way to maybe get in behind? As here we are, Batista now. Ball played through, maybe. No, Dorian gets it though to feet. Across to Spear, who now brings it forward. If we can get it out wide, maybe we've got options out there. Barloco, Spear's through on goal. Oh, I've just hit myself in the face with my thumb. It's all gone wrong. They're bringing it out from the back, Pescara Calcio. Glenier's on it, plays it out, and now this is a chance for them. They can maybe bring it out wide and start to attack Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I'm hoping will do a good enough job and stop them. He forces it back at least, but they bring it forward again. There's a through ball there. A cross could be dangerous. Oh, it hits the defender, and it comes back out to them again, though, and they're working it quite neatly, quite nicely. Nielsen's through for a second. Into the near post. Pozovec looks 6s and 7s. We're going to have to go back on attacking, I think. 2 goals down. And Havard Nielsen with it. I mean, it's a nice move from them, but I feel like we should be doing slightly better. I think it's Diaz there, just lets his man run beyond him. Pozovec's positioning, frankly, is abysmal. And it's 2-0. And we get tricky times here, a difficult spell. And that's not what we wanted to see. We're going to bring Guklu on. Of course, Jovetic got the goal, but Guklu's a slightly better finisher as well. All of a sudden, I come back. It's a reply almost instantly, it feels like. Batista gets it, and we're back to 2-1. We've now made the attacking change as well. We'll see this again. Obviously, we missed it. I don't know what was going on. I didn't pause the game for some reason. As Batista goes through, but 2-1. Okay, good. I feel like I've been shocked there. I wasn't ready for a goal on our behalf, but there it is. As the ball's thrown in by Barloco, questionable throw in, and now Donis brings it forward. A ball across will cause all sorts of problems. Diaz, though, this time clears it away, but the pressure's not over as it's hit the bar. Oh my word. That was stressful, bloody stressful, this managerial luck. Toscano with it, Toussaint now. Where's he going to go? Chips it forward, lofts it forward. De Sol, where's it going? Gone backwards. I think they're controlling the game very, very nicely. And I've got to say, folks, I'm not enjoying it at all. We're not really getting stuck in enough. Can we get close to them? Shot on goal. Right, let's get stuck in a little bit more. High pressure, much more closing down. Get in their faces, please. I'll take a yellow card if it needs to be. I'll take a red if it needs to be. If it means we'll get a goal. Jovetic is going to come on. He's in good form for Yosu, who's not had the greatest of games. Split the switch. 5 or so minutes to go. Can we find a late equaliser? I mean, away from home to lose 2 games back to back 2-1, which is looking extraordinarily likely at this stage, is not ideal at this stage of the season. I mean, it's their corner that's played in. Brugman is on it now, and I fear, folks, he might get a hat trick here, Nielsen, if he's not careful. Right, there we are. That is going to be it, isn't it? I'd be very shocked now if we see any additional highlights, and there it is. Pescara 2. Spal 1, and there's no transfers coming in. Dorian's going to leave. I rejected Inter Milan. I've rejected Mönchengladbach. I've rejected West Ham, and now we've been defeated. Disappointingly, is that Dorian's 100th goal? Did that say there? There's no way that's Dorian's 100th goal. What? 100 appearances? 100 appearances. 49 goals in 100 appearances. 21 assists. What a boy. But not ideal. I think we can all agree. And I assume then that's going to bring us to the end of the episode. If anything happens at the back end of the January window, you'll certainly find out about it in the next episode. There's not much more going to go on. Again, the real fear in this time now, I'm just continuing to see if anything occurs, is if Dorian leaves, there's not really an obvious loan signing out there for us to bring in. There's lots of things, like this guy was someone we nearly went after, Marios. I think we looked at him before, the Cypriot guy. He's gone to Celtic instead. I mean, that means probably we can get him at some point. He's 5'4", 19 years of age, highly capped by Cyprus. Looks a really good all-round player, but was just ever so slightly out of our price range. And that is essentially the problem, that there's lots of players in that scenario. You obviously start with a bruised head. It doesn't look like much else is going to happen here. So we'll wrap it up. If you enjoyed today's video, folks, as the game saves as well, do leave a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. And we love with care then. From me, that's Benji. Until next time, goodbye. And just quickly, if you missed the video yesterday, the first proper full episode of For The Fans, the podcast I do, is out right now. There's a link in the description. We talk about all the Premier League action, as well as all our Premier League predictions, as well as our surprise England call-up. I'll give you a clue. He plays in my spell team. So yeah, if you want to go and check that out, please do. We're also available on iTunes. Link, as I say, in the description.